Hello world! This is a little bit different video than I usually make. And the reason is I got some emails from people who ask me what kind of drone I usually use when I'm doing my mapping and filming like events or sports or requests from other people. And I thought it was actually quite a very interesting question. Well, here is I wouldn't say my all-time favorite, but it is probably still one of the nicest drones to fly. It is extremely easy, it's extremely stable, quality is good, lifetime is good, the range is good. It's a really nice drone to fly with. And I always enjoyed having it. This is the fourth one I have. I had three other ones. I fly this one actually since the beginning when it came out. There was an extremely long waiting list, but luckily my dealer was able to secure one of the first batches for me, and I'm still flying that one. And do I want a Mavic Pro 2? Not particularly. I like this one. It does what I do. Of course, the new one has newer techniques. It has maybe a better camera, but this is a 4K camera. And for me, the quality is actually superb. And if I really want to go the whole 9 yards, of course, I have the big beast. This is still my favorite workhorse. It is an extremely good camera. I got some lenses. It has the same range as the Mavic. It has, of course, dual cameras. It has very powerful. It is very stable due to the heavy motors and the big propellers. It is very good against wind and stable in windy conditions. It's a really nice drone to fly. It's exceptional quality. The camera is probably one of the best cameras I've ever seen. So, do I need the Mavic Pro 2? No. The only thing what would be nice is having the possibility to zoom. But if you film in 4K, you always have some room to play. So yeah, it's a really good drone. And of course, one of the drones, if you want to call it like that, which I have, which is very underestimated and not a lot of people know about it. Haha! This is my submarine drone. I have an original one. It's a little bit different than the normal drones, but it sails very well. It has a very long lifespan. I can make 3 hours of movie. The only thing, of course, is you need to have very clear water, and where I am at the moment, we don't have that. I was in Africa at Lake Kivu, where I tried to film it a little bit. It worked, but it was not the advertisement movies you see with the fish and everything. You really have to get up close. It was very greenish, and of course I know that was the water, but that's the way it is. And yeah, there's not more to, and as you also see, I need to clean it a little bit. There's some dirt inside. But actually, why I want to make this movie is about this little fella. It's my Spark, and I bought it when I was in Nigeria, and the reason was that I had to have a quick drone which I could take with me, and I looked online and somebody had a brand new one with a remote control, and I decided to buy that, and I did. And it is not 4K, it is 1080. It has a stabilized camera. It's not a professional drone, but neither is the Mavic, so for that I can't say anything. But the quality is actually remarkably good. It's very clear, it's bright, it's easy to edit in post-productions. It's actually a very nice drone to fly. The furthest I have flown it was about 1,000 meters from the point where I was, which is actually quite long. especially if you consider it's a Wi-Fi connection. But yeah, it was doing well, and I can't complain about it. I got 32 gigabyte of a card, and that works fine. So, considering all the drones I have, do I still use the Spark? Yes, I do, and I still enjoy it very much. Maybe the number one reason why I use it so on a regular basis is it is very small, it is very convenient, it is very light. You just plop, 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 and you take it up. If you take the Inspire, you know, you have the batteries, checks, all the kind of things, and you need space, and you need to have your iPad with you, and you need to have your big remote control. It's a lot of hassle, and of course you don't have that with the Mavic. It's basically the same remote control as the Mavic, except there is no display, so it's a little bit smaller, but in general it's the same size and the same setup. There has been a lot of discussions about the OTG cable, on the go cable, which is absolutely required for the Mavic Pro, but my experience is the Spark flies a lot better without. And even when I saw my old movies where I had really serious problems with autonomous flight modes in hangar autopilot, it never happened again. I have to say that it is stable, it works well, the software is good, the firmware is good at the moment, so see no reason. Of course you have your limitations, it can't go that high, it can't go that far, it's very vulnerable for wind, but in normal conditions it's good. One of the things I usually do when I fly the Spark is if I have to fly something with the Inspire, which is of course is a very expensive drone, I always want to make sure that I am free, clear of trees, clear of cables and everything. If you hit something with the Inspire, it's just too late. Therefore, I always use my Spark. I just send it up, I'll see if it is clear, I can see, okay, there's a road, there's a house, there's people playing, and I try to avoid people being annoyed by my drones. So I'll just always make sure that I'm free and safe to go, and then therefore the Spark is a really, really good thing. One of the other reasons why I really like to use the Spark is when I fly, you want to, let's say, take a picture of a tower or maybe a painting on the wall somewhere. It is my experience that people are really intimidated when you come with the Inspire 2. It makes noise, it's big, you know, you have to, I always put pylons, I have my high visibility. People are a little bit intimidated, and I don't think it's good to scare people. I have noticed over the last almost 2.5, 3 years that people are still very anxious and very reserved for using drones, and I don't think it's a good reason or good to make them more scared than they already are. I think it took a long time before people get used to steam trains, and I think it will take even longer before people get used to drones. While everybody's carrying a camera in their telephone, or they snap everything they can, but as soon as it gets 4 propellers, they're getting really, oh, you're touching my privacy. Of course I understand that, I try to comprehend everything I can, but sometimes it's just not possible. Then this little fella, doesn't make a lot of noise, it's small, people see it more as a toy as they see it as a flying camera, and yeah, it does work fine for me. I have made some really good footage. As I said, the quality is good, it's 4K, it is not wide angle, it's just completely linear, which I like. I hate wide angles. So it's good, it works fine, it is stable, it comes back, it flies around 17 minutes on the battery charge. I get a lot of batteries for all my drones, so that's good. It is, you know, if you want to check something in your own vicinity, it is the perfect drone. It's even handier than the Mavic. It's smaller, it's lighter. If something happens, it's not a really big disaster. It's still expensive, but you know, I think the most important thing is that people consider this as a toy, so they're not getting offended by it, and it's good. The quality is okay. I love flying it, and I keep flying with it. If it would crash, would I buy a new one? Probably not. The reason is, it is It is a very basic drone, and for a couple of $100 more you have something else. One of the good things is, because it is the entry level of the DJI range, it is completely compatible with all the flight apps you can get. I am a big fan of Autopilot, and I also use a lot of mapping software, Pix4D, Maps Made Easy, you name it, I use it. And the Spark is compatible with all those apps. And I'm afraid if you take something like a Mavic Air, or sorry, the DJI Air, or it's not. So it is a complete entry level, but it's compatible with all the main apps, the ones I use. So even if I say, okay, I need to check something which I do on a repetitive basis, I'll just put it up. It takes me 30 seconds to get it in the air, and it's done. So for that it's good. If the next level would be again to have then a Mavic Pro or even a Mavic Pro 2, then I'd say, well, maybe I still can get somewhere a new Spark and just continue what I'm doing. The good thing is I have the remote control, I have all the batteries, I know how it works, I have numerous spare propellers. I'm good. So for that reason, I think I'm very convenient with the Spark. I will see if I have some really nice footage which has done with the Spark 1080. It's clear. Maybe some comparisons together with the other drones, and you can see that even if you can buy maybe a second hand, as long as the camera is good, I think you do a very good bargain. You have a very good drone, and I think you can be very happy with it, and you can make wonderful images and aerial photography, and that's what we do. One thing, and that's, you see a lot on YouTube, where they say, yeah, you know, how to make cinematographic images with the Spark. Let me be very clear, the Spark is not a professional camera. It is a very basic entry-level camera. It is good, but it's not a drone to make cinematographic images. If people try to tell you that, basically it means they have no clue where they're talking about. It is not the purpose of the drone. The camera is not for that. The sensor is not for that. It is, you need to do a lot of color grading to get it up to a certain standard. It's just not the purpose of the drone. I think it tells more about the pilot than it tells about the drone. But again, that's my small humble opinion. It's if you want to have it as a second drone just to check, it is a really nice drone and you can't go wrong with it. It has dropped a couple of times, nothing wrong with it. I have even flying the original propellers, as I bought a complete set of spare propellers, never use it. And I think it get over probably 50 hours, 40-50 hours of flying time, and well, it's a good drone. I love it.